What's up, champs? Welcome back to Catch a Hint podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Hinton. This week, I kind of want to dive into myself. Why the hell am I making this dumb podcast? What am I getting myself into here? What's this all about? Last week, episode 1, I had my buddy Brock on. We kind of dove into his space a little bit, his fitness, entrepreneur. He's grinding. He has a lot of clients, fitness and wellness coach. He's doing really cool things back in Lincoln, Nebraska, where my hometown, born and raised. I moved out here to Colorado. Oh man, what has it been? A little over 2 years ago, I think. I think so. I think we're coming up on year 3 in May. So time is flying. But I want to get into a little bit of my history, what I'm going to be doing with this podcast, and let's go from there. So just kick it off, I'm making this stupid podcast kind of as a personal reason, It's kind of selfish, but I want to get better at verbal communication, at eye contact, at camera presence. I feel like I created this drone company, okay? Bought the LLC for it last year. Slowly developing kind of where I want to go with the company. I feel like I'm making smart moves and slow moves right now. I have a website. I got some clients. I have some reoccurring clients, but it's small right now, and I'm the only person involved. So I have to do research on every aspect of the company, financials, the actual filming skills, the technology that goes into it, reaching out to people. I'm my own salesperson. Luckily, I get word of mouth because, once again, I'm the only person involved. So I can control the interactions that this company has because I'm the only one interacting, right? So as long as I'm on my A game, we should have good referrals at the moment, right? So I don't know how, I have no real plan or path on growing as far as like employees. That's not really in the near future, I don't think, but I wanted to get into it a little bit because I feel like I'm kind of at a stalemate right now. I feel like I'm lacking the confidence it takes to be a good sales guy, to do cold calling, to walk into stores and pitch myself in front of a bunch of people that are looking at you crazy and you're carrying a toy drone into their store. It's kind of weird, right? Like, okay, maybe I don't carry the drone in, but even saying, yo, can I come in and fly my RC quadcopter with a GoPro on top? And no one thinks of a GoPro as a film commercial grade tool. But truthfully, nowadays, if you're scrolling through social medias and somebody that knows how to color grade and edit a GoPro shot, they can make a GoPro look just as good as a cinema camera if you're just doing it on a social media platform. Because most social platforms are only 1080p video. So it truly comes down to the color grading skills and choosing the right settings on the camera. Like, if you really do your research, which I don't want to get into it, but trust me, I have done my freaking research, okay? You can ask a lot of people in my life. I spend way too much time doing research and testing and practice. It's kind of like my happy place in a way because I'm an introvert. I'm getting better at that, I think, and that's partially the reason I'm doing this podcast, right? Because I want to broaden my verbal communication skills and get better at that. And I feel like doing this on a weekly basis, thinking about just a specific topic and kind of going over it and putting my 2 cents in. Not that I have that much information to share, but I feel like as I'm picking stuff up along the way, and I kind of want to document my journey here as an entrepreneur so I can look back at it and just be proud of my progress. Because I feel like I just put my head down and go, grind. I'm constantly breaking drones, learning how to build them better, learning how to fly better, there's so much that goes into this, right? Learning how to develop the website, to look at better graphic design. And these are all things that you can pay a professional to do, right? You could pay a professional graphic designer. You could pay a website developer. But I'm choosing to learn it all on my own. Is that a good idea? I'm starting to get overwhelmed. I'm starting to think there's too much to handle while also maintaining a full-time job, right? So I don't know. I'm figuring it out as I go. And that's kind of what this podcast is. It's just me ranting about stuff I've learned, about options. Maybe even I'll ask for some advice from you guys. I would love to hear comments, advice, questions, if you guys have specific questions about drones. Trust me, I've spent way too many hours watching drone videos, looking up drone articles. I have a license. I had to take a renewal test for the license, so I'm up to date on that. I mean, it's just, I'm in this space, and I'm trying to be a professional in this space. So that's kind of where I'm going. What are some of my goals? I'm clipping a little bit. Let me turn this audio down just a smidge. Sorry if that was a little too clippy. What are some of my goals, right? Well, I've been slowly researching and getting myself basically a filming understanding, like filmmaking, production, directing. I feel like all that stuff, there are so many great assets on YouTube. Mark Bone is a good one. I'll put a few on the screen because there's so many that I study and watch weekly, and they have years and years of experience. And I truly feel like a shortcut to gaining a lot of knowledge in any space, in any industry. If you have a passion, just find YouTube videos. You have to be picky about who you watch and who you trust. And over time, you'll have a better understanding of who's faithful, who's trustworthy, who's full of crap, who's trying to get clicky, who's clickbaiting. You'll figure that out quick. And that's another frustration I have, is feel like clickbait is all over the internet, every platform. The news, don't even get me started with the mainstream news. Don't get me started. I won't go there. It's just clickbaity. Everyone's doing the craziest title, the craziest thumbnail, just to get you to sit through their 8-minute video, when truthfully the 8-minute video, and not always, but a lot of these people are making bad content with clickbaity titles and getting views. And it's frustrating as hell, but what I was going at, that's a rant, sorry guys. What I was getting at is, if you can figure out how to research what you want to learn, as for me, filmmaking, how to use a camera, how to set up your shot, how to exposure, all that. Composition, it's all important, it's all valuable. And these professionals that they've been doing this for 20, 30 years, they have so much insight, and they put it on YouTube for free. I'm telling you, free information. And these guys are skilled, and you can choose for yourself which style of filmmaker you want to follow. If you've watched some of this guy's work and you love his work, start listening to his information and his insight. You can be picky about it too. I feel like you can get a college degree in almost anything just on the internet nowadays. I really do. It's crazy. It's good and bad. It's scary and also awesome at the same time, if you know how to use it and you don't procrastinate and you don't get sucked into a rabbit hole about cute bunnies, fucking cute puppies, and you know what I'm saying. You get sucked into building a car. This guy drifting around, Ken Block. I could watch Ken Block for 5 hours. It's like, there's anything, you can just lose 3-4 hours. So it's a tool, but you have to use it the right way, right? So where I was getting with that is, I eventually kind of want to get into the directing of documentaries. Documentaries really fascinate me. And I want to get into that a little bit because, sorry, I keep saying that shit. I want to get in. Just fucking get into it, Ryan. You don't have to say it. Just, okay. So throughout my life, I feel like I've never been great at expressing my feelings through words, right? Like throughout my whole life, I had English tutors growing up in summertime, and I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever read a novel, a full book, front to back, every word, every page. I don't think I've ever finished a single book in my life. And I'm trying to change that. I got some books on hand. It's just not the ideal way that I learn or that I take in information. I'm a crazy visual learner, and I feel like I learn fast. I feel like I do learn pretty quick. My job is a perfect example of that. My first few years in this industry, back in Lincoln, Nebraska, I was pulling low voltage cabling. I was installing security cameras. I was installing door security. And I was learning all of this from masters at what they do. These guys have been doing it for 25 years. So for myself, by shutting up, standing there, soaking up every single word that they say, every bit of information that they give me, and just not talking, because I don't have anything to add. I just got out of college. I have no real life work experience. Why would I sit here and talk? And if we're talking the most efficient way to learn a skill or a craft, shut up and listen from the experts who've been doing it for years and years. That's it. I mean, it's pretty simple, actually. Like, I don't even have to get into that. I feel like most people understand that, right? So that's what I did. I soaked up information for a few years, was pretty quiet. I feel like I learned really fast and was able to mimic every single thing that I was taught pretty quickly. And I was blessed with a brain that works like that. So come to Colorado, and now I'm doing AV work. I feel like I'm learning quickly from people that are experts in this field that have been doing this for years and years and years. For the first year at the job I'm at now, I didn't really say much. I asked a lot of questions, and I listened. And it's gotten me to rapidly grow my skills in this industry. And I feel like there's a big learning perk in that story, right? Like, sorry, that's not what I want to say. And this is another reason why I'm doing this podcast. I don't know how to express my feelings through words. That last sentence there, it didn't make any sense, right? And I feel like if I do this on a weekly basis, I'm going to slowly get better. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm picking out my weaknesses. Like in my business, let's just take my business, for example. I create videos and photos with my drone and with my DSLR camera, and my FPV drones is kind of my specific niche right now. Flying through buildings. It's a lot of practice. It's a lot of stick time. It's a ton of stick time. It's understanding exposure and putting the right filter on. It's being great with communication, and it's setting expectations with the client. It's talking to the client on site and saying, this is what I want each worker in your facility to do during this video. And being respectful and when asking that. There's so much to it. It's being a salesperson, right? And I've noticed after doing this for a few years and trying to build a company, my weakness is verbal communication, whether it be on the phone. I feel like I lose my train of thought quickly, and I feel like I don't get everything out that I need to get out, and I'm awkward. And I want to work on that. And I feel like if I can work on some of my weaknesses, we're going to get somewhere. The best way to grow is by doing hard shit, right? That's ultimately, like, I've had the most energy I've ever had in the past few weeks, because after that podcast with Brock, I just said, you know what? I'm working out. 5:30 every morning. I'm working out. Only a 20-minute workout sometimes. Doesn't matter. I start with the bike, get my heart rate bumping. I eat a better breakfast. I have more energy at night. It's hard. It's not easy. It's hard shit. But doing hard shit makes you grow. But like, where I want to go with this company is that I want to get back to the documentary thing, because I'm a visual. I feel like I'm able to express myself better through a visual presence, through art, right? And the art that I really have a passion for is the man-made, God-created beauty in sunsets. A sunset over a mountain, like I could just, if I have that the rest of my life, that's all I need. Like it's beautiful, man. And that's the art I've chosen to capture is a lot of scenic views. And now I'm adding clients and their buildings to the picture and trying to create art with their business or their product. Or so I feel like I'm pretty good at communicating through art. And documentary is just storytelling in a visual form. So I would combine that skill along with all the hours that I have spent researching the camera gear and lighting and technique and mics. And also I have a great asset, Ferris. He's in LA. He's a major editor for a pretty big YouTuber. So he's an asset. I could ask him along the way, right? Just using the connections you've created, the good, solid connections you've created along the way. I feel like I could slowly get there. So I don't know how I want to develop documentary creation into my future. It's kind of a goal, you know? It's kind of a dream at this moment. But right now, I already have all the equipment I need to start reaching out to small businesses and saying, hey, can I fly through your building real quick, capture your entire facility in a quick action-packed video, adding really nice graphics on top, cool music. I can give you multiple posts, different videos quickly. I feel like, and I also have a camera, so now I can get detail shots and I can get interview style. So I feel like I have a lot of options, and for a small business, I can charge a much smaller dollar amount because I'm not a bigger company. I don't have to pay an editor and a cinematographer and an interviewer, person that conducts the interview, whoever the hell that is, and a owner and a sales guy. Those are 5 people that have to get money in the process if this small business goes with a big time marketing company, right? So me being solo is also an advantage because I can charge a fraction of the cost, the price. I mean, I still need to price myself accordingly because I've spent way too much free time learning, developing, practicing my craft. So I do need to charge according to the hard work that I've put in, right? But even charging that it's so much lower than a big time company. So that's an advantage for me. And I just need to start hitting these small businesses saying, this is my profit margin. I'll make you a video. You have unlimited edits. If you don't like it, no one's ever come back to me and said they don't like the video and they want a completely new edit. They've made minor adjustments to the edit and they've said, this isn't fantastic. But I always give them the option. Like, you have full control of the edit for this fairly affordable price. And I can do it really fast for them. I could show up on a random Friday or Saturday. I'm pretty flexible. Get the shot, try to grow a connection, and get out of there. And I'm ready to do this. I have the website. I have the business. I'm ready to go. I'm just not calling out. I'm just not reaching out to people. I guess it's a lack of confidence, or maybe it's not though, because I've done it. I've reached out. I've tried to get clients, but I'm just thinking if I practice the communicating side, I might land more gigs. So, and it'd probably be worthwhile to talk to some of the sales guys at my company I work at now. Just get some tips every now and again. They probably love to talk. I'll probably make it my goal to sit in on a sales guy or two and just get some ideas. Pick his brain. Just do what I do best and listen and pick people's brain. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. That's what this podcast is all about. It's just a selfish way for me to grow my communication skills, get better at something. have some fun in the process, right? I'll talk about anything. I need some questions from you guys. So in the comments, whether it be Spotify, Apple, YouTube, throw me a comment, throw me a question. If you have any questions, I'm going to be asking you guys questions and advice too. So it's going to be a fun little journey every Sunday. So I'm excited. I'm probably going to wrap this one up here. This is a good introduction where I'm coming from, where I want to go. I'm excited for this journey. Really passionate about it. So it's going to be fun times. But thank you guys for tuning in this week. Leave a comment, a like. Next week, we'll dive into, I might have a special guest for you guys. So till next week, guys, have a great rest of your week. Peace.